Well, you see him on the CBS Evening News. I'm sitting next to the legendary Steve Hartman, the on-the-road correspondent. For how many years have you been doing this now?
25 or so.
25.
Yeah.
Any story surprise you, shock you, or every single story is different?
They're all different. Some go better than others. There's been a couple times we've gone out on a shoot and go, well, this isn't uplifting or good, positive in any way, and we could do something else. But by and large, we set out to find the best people America has to offer that most people have never heard from, and they deliver. Right.
You're sitting here today, December of 2023. I want to take you back a year ago, December 2022. You came to visit a teacher by the name of Derek Brown, who was using your segments to teach kindness. And the very first way you started off that piece was, I always expect a warm welcome, but I've never expected to be shocked. Tell us what you meant by that.
Because I walked into that classroom and the kids gasped. And I'm like just a
middle-aged guy.
Yeah.
Just no offense, like
right,
me.
Exactly. And, it turns out that this teacher shows an on-the-road piece every day in class. So I was a fixture in that classroom, and sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, to teach kindness and character. So I was just, I was a little surprised. Just the fact that somebody would know who I was would be a surprise, but to get the reaction we got was pretty amazing. A once in a lifetime for me.
And it's fifth graders, usually a group of an age group that doesn't really get shocked by adults, right?
Right. I was going to say they don't usually watch the evening news. Fifth graders, like if it had been a group of 88-year-olds, that would have made more sense. But they don't usually watch the evening news, and so it was a big surprise.
So the story that you did a year ago about Derek Brown, he got very emotional with you about what he was trying to do. Do you remember that?
I do. And it's not just Derek. We kind of just discovered by accident almost that there are teachers around the country using the on-the-road features to teach kindness and character. And Derek's been doing it as long as anybody, and he swears that by having his kids watch these videos of, like I say, some of the best America has to offer, day in and day out, really changes the character of the classroom. And that's nothing I certainly set out to do. I'm doing feature stories for the evening news. I'm not trying to be a teacher. So it was all completely by accident, but at this point it's become almost my purpose. I care more about those kids in the classroom than I do the viewers of the evening news. Don't tell my boss that, but it really matters to me.
And your story kind of opened the floodgates. Like you said, it opened up Kindness 101, a group on Facebook for teachers, correct?
Yeah, we almost didn't do the story because, is this really news, a teacher using our stories? But we wanted to see how many teachers were actually doing this. And that story that I did with Derek here in Phoenix became one of the most shared stories we've told in years. Teachers passing this on to each other, and more teachers joining the fold, 100,000 at this point.
So to button up last year, Derek's final words to you were, if I can have one of my students become the topic of the On the Road segment, that would be awesome.
And here we are, and it has happened.
So tell us, how did it happen?
Well, Derek and his kids decided that they wanted to emulate Secret Santa, who is a fellow I do a story on every year. He's a wealthy businessman. He gives away $100 bills to random strangers in thrift stores and laundromats.
And you shoot over his shoulder.
You never see his face. You never see his face. I've been doing that for years. And the kids thought that, we should do this. So independently of the school district, on their own, after school hours, the teacher and the students started preparing to do their own Secret Santa event. And they raised money, and we followed them this holiday season as they gave away $100 bills to random strangers, just as Secret Santa did. And I have to tell you, this story is one of the most powerful we've ever told, and we were not prepared for that. The interviews that we did, the cameraman was crying, producer's crying. Producer says I was crying. I don't really remember feeling a tear on my cheek, but we'll take her word for it. But it's really some amazing television. These kids discovering before our eyes that it is better to give than receive.
You are a true pro, journalism 101 here. And just a little aside for our audience, we expected Steve like 2.5, 3 hours ago, and here you are about 3 hours later than you said you were. So is that a testament to how this story unfolded for you?
No, it's a testament that I'm not very good with a watch. No, but yeah, it did. We were doing interviews with the kids, and one after the other, each one was better than the next, and it was kind of a little bit hard to stop. So yeah, we did go on longer than we thought we would.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a real challenge to whittle this down, but Phoenix is going to look very good on network television.
Can I ask you that? It's a powerful statement when kids start to be kids for others. But was it more powerful because these kids, to start with, have so little?
They do have so little. Yeah, because a lot of them had never seen a $100 bill in their life. And here they are handing them out to total strangers, gleefully, and feeling like it is making their life complete and giving them purpose. We heard that over and over from the kids. So it's rare that I've really seen change happen before my eyes. A lot of times we show up on a story because change has happened, but we were there as these kids went through this process, and it was something to behold.
Tell me what Derek's reaction was, or do we need to wait and see the story?
Well, Derek, no, you don't have to wait, because Derek is Derek and he cries at everything. So this was.
Oh, I worked with him. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So I can't imagine what it was like for him to see his kids. Any teacher wants to affect change in their students. And to see it happen the way it did during this shoot in such a large scale, he had a hard time getting out words.
Yeah, during the pandemic, you and your kids started bringing this kindness to the forefront.
Yeah.
It's such a simple concept, but it's so hard sometimes in this divided world that we live in, this divisive society that we have right now, to really grasp that or get your arms around that. But television journalism is the medium that kind of shows it to people right in front of their face.
Probably better than any other medium, that's for sure. And it is a hard concept for adults and kids to grasp. My kids host that Kindness 101 with me, but as soon as the cameras are off, they're back to being regular kids, and we need the lessons.
Wait till they're teenagers.
Yeah, oh yeah, well, we're getting there. They need the lessons as much as anybody else, and that's why people sometimes watch them over and over, because and I watch them and I take lessons from them, because we do need more and more of it. And again, I never set out to create lessons on kindness and character. I never set out to be Mr. Rogers. It's just something that we've kind of stumbled into, and adults and kids that's what they're getting from it.
There's a reason that you're running this in December during the heart of the holidays, isn't there?
Yeah, well, it's the story with Derek. Yeah, because it's about giving, and it's a tradition that we've had at CBS News for probably more than 15 years now, where we follow Secret Santa. This is the one time when we've done something a little bit different. Secret Santa's not a part of this story. It's people that are, kids that are emulating him and his example being followed. So it's kind of a special one for us.
And to wrap this up, how proud of you are you of these kids? You're a journalist, you have to maintain your distance, but it seems like you just fell right into this story.
No, I don't need to maintain my distance. That's for the guys at the beginning of the newscast. I can be biased and play favorites, and these kids are some of my favorites. And they'll be some of yours too once you watch the story.
And the message from this that you hope people resonate with?
Just that giving is a joyful thing, and as I was talking to the kids, it seems irrational that giving would be better than receiving, because when you give, you're left with nothing tangible, and when you receive, that should be the time of glory. Look what I got. But these kids show with such a bright spotlight that giving really is a joy, and once you go headfirst into it and dive deep, there's nothing else like it. And they're addicted. These kids are going to be givers the rest of their lives.
Thank you, Steve. And the quote from you, the big takeaway for me from this interview, Phoenix will be
very proud of their children.
That's awesome. He's Steve Hartman. He is the on the road correspondent for the CBS Evening News. Happy holidays.